garbage. But like that's just it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking for the guys that worked hard for 9 innings.
Yeah,
and then that happens. I don't know.
Especially, I mean, you're up 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th, and we had them, 2 outs.
Yeah,
before the game was tied.
Like statistically, it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah,
no shot.
Well, I was watching the post game because I got okay. You can blame me for the loss. I got home, started watching it. I was coming back from Des Moines, so I got home late, and I'm like, wow, the Royals are still on. For one, it was 3 hours and 40 minutes or something like that.
It was a long game.
Yeah,
and so I start watching, and I think it's 5-3 when I start watching.
Okay.
In the bottom of the 9th inning. So I'm like, okay, this is I can turn this off. This is a win. No, I keep watching, and so I guess it was because my wife always says if the Royals are winning, I can watch, but if they start to lose or start to destruct, I have to turn it off. And I did that during the World Series too. Seriously.
Well, maybe you should have done
Which one? The second one?
Or the
2015?
2015, yeah. So, and that's another story for another day about me being at the Power and Light, and basically Rex Hudler and Joel Goldberg's. I told them the same story, and they're like, "Jim, you need to go," and I did. I get to Liberty, and we tie it up. So I'm not even. I've been at the Power and Light all weekend.
Yeah,
I'm not there for the winning moment at the Power and Light.
Moment.
So, but anyway, I didn't mean to go off on that.
No, you're good.
No, that's it. Yeah, I would say they.
But so I'm watching, Jeff Montgomery, our buddy over there, and you had him on the show a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
and trying. I mean, as a pitcher, a Hall of Fame Royals pitcher, trying to be nice in the post game. I mean, on that pitching debacle in the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah, that he had to be in a tough spot. We did not watch the pregame. We kind of stopped and threw up at that point. But
yeah, I just fell over in my chair.
Yeah,
I started shaking. I was
just
like, I think I hit the counter just like bang. And I'm like, what in the why?
Yeah,
Any team, it had to be to the Cardinals.
Yeah,
like out of all the teams, it had to be these guys. And I'm just like, dude, it makes me sick because guess what? Who I had chirping at me today? 2 Cardinals fans this morning, 7:30 in the morning. I'm in a good mood. I'm making Mason some breakfast. A couple Cardinals fans just chirping at me. I just start throwing. No, I didn't start throwing stuff. But I was just like, guys, come on, man.
Dump Mason's breakfast all over the counter.
Yeah, I just threw it. I got finished Mason's breakfast. No, I just threw it everywhere. No, but it sucks. I mean, if it was a different team, if it happens like if you're playing the Yankees and like they hit bombs on you, you're just like, okay, it's the Yankees. They have like 4 or 5 like home run hitters on that squad. Cardinals, they got nothing like that. So why we're pitching outside? I mean, it was basically our pitchers just lost control on the zone. They could not hit that zone to save their life, and so that's why you get a 4-0 count walk off. Walk in, walk off. Sucks.
Well, I don't even think it's one of those moments you can really get pissed off. I mean, you're just so like, what?
Yeah.
Did this?
It's just more shocking.
I mean, it was.
Did I really just see that?
Somber?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, that's how the post-game show was last night. Pretty somber.
But yeah, on a positive note, that's right. The winning streak starts on Saturday, so we're good. Or it starts Friday.
Breaking news: Rays acquire outfielder Brett Phillips from the Royals.
Oh, we made a trade
for a shortstop prospect, Luis Fox. So Brett Phillips, outfielder for the Royals.
He gone.
When's the trade deadline for right now?
It's got to be coming up.
Because it was going to be, 30 games
I think it's the end of this month, so yeah.
Or 30, end of the month.
30 days so end of August, I think.
Maybe August 31st. Right? 60 games? Is that right?
60-game season.
So is it going to go over about 3 months? Was the schedule? When does it end?
I don't know when the...
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It had to be about... They wouldn't have done it.
I mean, we're over halfway through now. We're at 31 games. So
I can't remember if...
we got 29 left.
I think as far as playoffs go, I think they're still doing best of 7 on everything.
Yeah, I think so.
In baseball, you have to.
Yeah.
When you do the best of 7 series, you can't say they got hot. Well, they got hot for 4 games and they beat you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean. You get the real, true winners, unless you're the Astros and you're cheating.
Yeah, cheaters.
Which, MLB's done a nice job of the teams have done a nice job of sending a message early and now they're not beating them anymore.
Yeah.
I was kind of glad they did to start out. So that's kind of nasty to say, but
That's why I do not like high school districts, because if you can gamble and pitch your last pitcher if you know you're going to make it to that district championship game.
right.
And I mean, it's just you get one shot at it.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's why you're right. You know, even a best of 5 is still not enough, I don't think, for pro ball.
I like
Yeah.
best of 7. Also best of 7 works out because you get to see more games, which is cool. And then you know when somebody wins a best of 7 series, that's the true winner. You know, even with injuries or whatever, it's the true better team. Nobody got hot at the right moment. You know, in football, I was talking about it with somebody else the other day about best of 7 series because somebody was asking me about is NBA going to. I think it was. Well, no, it wasn't you. It was somebody else I was talking to. They're like, hey, every NBA is best of 7. This and that first round. I was like, yeah, it's all best of 7. And they were like, man, I wish football could do something similar. And I was like, well, I understand that. It makes sense because to me, like they can't do it. But like, think about a lot of times it's the team that gets hot. Because I mean, the 07 Patriots lose to that New York Giants team. I think that Patriots team probably beats them 9 out of 10 times. But Giants got hot that one time, and they got them. So football is all about getting hot at the right
that's
time.
kind of what's special about football.
Yeah.
Is that – and, yeah, you're right. You could never really do series, just because the beating, the body
physicality
takes.
stuff. Yeah, I mean, for sure.
But
Well-
in theory, it's a great idea.
You can have a playoff, though. You just can't do series.
Well, yeah, that's what we're saying.
Oh,
Like,
for
you
sure,
can't do
yeah.
a 3-game series or 5-game series. Like,
Think about how long that would take.
yeah, you can't because you could
Like-
you can't play it more than once a week. And,
You're right. Like we'd have football year
I
round.
played rugby 2 to 3 times a week.
We'd have football. We could have football year round if they.
We're
did
about to, man.
best
The
of
Rock.
7 series. Oh, we are about to have football
Is
year
there
round.
still is there going to be a St. Louis team in still? I wonder.
Probably.
I wonder who the teams are.
So The Rock officially has taken over the XFL. He bought it a few weeks ago, but he officially got the keys, I think, a week ago tomorrow.
Yeah, last
If I
Friday.
remember right.
Yep.
So, it's going to be awesome. I think the XFL will be back this spring. People know Dwayne Johnson as one of the hardest working guys in Hollywood, if not the hardest worker. And so if anybody can resurrect this thing, I think it's him because if and obviously he has decided he's going to try to bring the league back. Now, whether that be this spring or he puts it off a year, but once he says, hey, here's the launch date for the new XFL, the new XFL, he will do everything in his power to make it successful.
Yeah,
and pretty much everything he touches is successful.
Oh yeah.
So, I'm jacked. I can't wait.
And one thing he does really well is he does a really good job of putting a good team together. So Danny Garcia, which is actually his ex-wife, but also his business manager, she's really I think she's going to be the main one in charge.
Yeah.
Right. Rock will be Rock's like the money.
The Rock.
And he's the Rock. He's the principal owner. But she also Danny's got a share in it also because she's become the first woman to own a professional sports league. So that's very cool. So they're probably taking time to put together the right team to run it. And like you said, I think every single thing he touches has turned to gold.
Yeah.
Especially within the last 10 years. Resurrected the Fast and Furious franchise when he came on for the 5th movie. It skyrocketed up. He just had the Titan games on, which are actually pretty cool.
They did. I watched that every Monday night.
That was cool. It was good. It was great. Anytime he comes back on WWE, ratings shoot through the roof. Twitter goes bonkers, and everybody tunes in to see what he's doing. So the guy's electric, and like you said, he's a hard worker. I need to get some gear next time. You probably can get gear now. Somebody probably has some they're selling or something.
Yeah.
But I'm down. I need to get some. I meant to actually get some. I think it would have been cool to still have some. If I would have picked up a starter jacket from the AAF. American football.
Yeah, it was AAF.
Alliance American Football.
Yeah.
I still wish I had something from that because it'd be kind of cool to have that and be like, look at this. This league was around for 6 weeks or whatever it was. I really wish that was still around too. I mean, the more the merrier for me as far as football goes. So,
well, here's my big question. A lot of people have attempted since the AFC and the NFC merger. The only one that has been successful at building a league was the AFC.
The AFL.
AFL, which became the AFC, right?
You're right.
So, will this be the next? Will this be? Rock was part of. Rock was part of this year one, the first time.
Yeah, but he was a wrestler then. He wasn't.
He wasn't any kind of owner.
But the USFL was actually very successful too in the spring. The problem that they did was they moved to the fall to try to go head to head with the NFL and got crushed. If they would have stayed in the spring, I think they would have made it. So they were successful.
Yeah, I mean, and I've seen ESPN did a 30 for 30 on that.
Yeah.
So I'm sure everybody has a lot of information on USFL from watching that. So I thought it was of course, 30 for 30 is a really good docuseries.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I mean, think about it. You have a league that's doing well, or pretty well, sustained. How many years were they around? Just ballpark. Off the top of your
2
head,
or 3.
something like that, right? And they were doing fine.
Mm-hmm.
Drawing a decent number of fans. Everything's going good. They're drawing certain stars. Herschel Walker. They say the greatest game. Jim Kelly. They say the greatest game and it said it in the documentary, the greatest game that no one's ever seen, or not many people have ever seen, is the Steve Young's team versus Jim Kelly, and they said it was just like a shootout because these guys are both, I think, are both run and shoot, and they were just slinging the ball all around. And so I think if I had to bet money, I would say the XFL will survive and be viable. And I actually think that the incarnation we did have would have survived had we not
global
run into a pandemic. And McMahon thought the best route was to go ahead and do bankruptcy to avoid some lawsuits. So we'll see how it goes. Rock got it for pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Did you hear what Herschel Walker said during Trump's whatever you call it, the presidential thing that's going on right now?
The RNC?
Yeah, the RNC convention. He spoke a lot about, Donald and owning one of the teams back in the day. And
Generals?
New Jersey?
New Jersey Generals.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But he was also the one that wanted to move it to football season too.
But anyway.
Bonehead.
Yep, bad move. All right, well, high school football is kicking off this weekend in Missouri on Friday. So we went through the slate of games earlier today. Austin and I did, and we picked a few that stick out to us. First, I want to talk about games that you can watch live on UClick TV.
Yeah, I was going to say, Gary, go ahead and promote yourself real quick before we get to some of the games. Go for it.
So Blair Oaks is playing Maryville. That is from the University of Central Missouri.
Exciting news there,
over
too.
in Warrensburg. What's that?
Exciting news for that game.
Yep.
We got the University of Central Missouri's broadcast production truck, the same one that does the MIAA championship every year for basketball, football, volleyball, whatever, doing our games.
Sweet.
So we're going to have a true professional broadcast. Tyler Jones on the call.
Nice. Tyler Jones made his first appearance on the show last week.
I would say it's always professional. This is even more professional.
Yes. So Blair Oaks, Maryville. Also have new to the U this year is Des Moines Hoover. So 3 hours north of us here. Des Moines, Iowa has 5 public high schools. Des Moines Hoover is playing Des Moines North, and that game will be available on UClick TV. I actually know one of the coaches on the North team, a guy named Dan Sickles. So Dan Sickles coached with me back in the day at my Roosevelt days. So
sweet.
But yeah, Des Moines Hoover new to the U this year. Yeah. You can catch that game 7:00 Friday night. Marshall at Chillicothe. Chillicothe and Coach Tim Rulo up there does a great job. I've interviewed him a couple times for different things here on the U, and wish him all the best of luck. Not trying to say anything bad. I don't know the staff at Marshall. I'm sure they're doing a great job too.
They have. They've really rebuilt over there as well in the last couple of years too.
Yeah,
nice.
Just like I said, I'm a little more familiar with Chillicothe on that one.
Oh, and I'll tell you one thing about Tim that you've never been able to see. He runs his program like a college, and he expects. You may not like it if you're an assistant coach in high school level, but a lot of work at home, a lot of homework, a lot of study, and he expects it out of everybody from the coaching staff to the managers to the team. Everything is ran like a college would run it, and you know what that's like.
Yeah, that's great. So that game also on the U Friday night, and then the one that I'm actually calling that I'll be working with Mr. Chris Glenn on is St. Joe Benton comes down here to play